Hey, everybody. How you doing? Yes, I'm streaming this afternoon on a new topic. It's related to a lot of things that we've been talking about and I've been watching on YouTube, and it's regarding harassment and inequality. And what this video stream is about, the resources that are available for the IMDbPro paid members versus not being available for the IMDb.com free members. Okay. I've been both. And I did research this information. And as of today, it's not been changed. It's still the same. So I'm going to share with you some of the information that I've researched and introduce you to Nikki Santoro. She is the current CEO of IMDb, the entire blanket. She did take over from the founder, Cole Needham, in January 2025, so 9 months ago. And as of today, the Harassment and Equality Resources webpage, which contains some information as well as phone numbers and links to resources for anyone who's in the entertainment industry that may be affected by either or both of those. And the concern, or what I'm pointing out to Ms. Santoro as the CEO, that it is her responsibility to provide this webpage access to all IMDb members, including IMDb and IMDbPro. Shouldn't matter whether it's a free subscription or free account or a paid member account. I think the information is valid for both. And with the as you can see here, harassment and inequality resources is only visible to the paid members that I'm aware of, because I have the IMDbPro access. So harassment in the entertainment industry is running rampant. There's plenty of court cases that have been coming up and are currently in play, and these kinds of harassments or inequality are occurring as we speak. Harassment I'll read this for you. Harassment in the entertainment industry is a pervasive issue with power imbalance and a culture that normalizes inappropriate behavior, contributing to its prevalence. The industry's informal work environment, transient workforce, and lack of accountability further exacerbate the problem. And again, if you watch the news, if you watch videos on YouTube, if you have whatever your news source is, even in the entertainment industry specifically, there's plenty of cases coming out, okay? And with the Me Too movement and the laws changing, there are victims that are able to come out to court and take a previous horrible experience to light. They don't have a statute of limitations, if I'm saying that correctly. So I'm bringing this up because I wanted to introduce you to Cole and Nikki Santoro. This is what they look like. That's what they look like. And in this section, under the help section, I did a search on harassment and inequality resources. For the IMDbPro members, you receive 8 hits, okay? And I have all screenshots from those pages. And what you'll see, even though it's available in this search criteria, as we go through them, you'll see that and then 2 harassment inequality resources through same search for IMDb members. There were only 2. So 8 versus 2, depending on your status in IMDb. So with the first one, I feel compelled to share this with you because everyone in the entertainment industry should be made aware of it. And I'm hoping Ms. Santoro or Mrs. Santoro takes it upon herself to reach out to her team and be able to allow access to this specific webpage on their website. It shouldn't be limited to paid members. It should be accessible for free and paid members. So harassment and inequality resources. WIF Help Line for sexual harassment, or SH, and misconduct. The WIF Help Line offers resources and support and information. Sorry, I'm trying to get this bigger so I can read it better. Okay. The WIF Help Line offers resources, support, and information, as well as referrals to pro bono legal services and emotional health and witness services to anyone who has experienced SH or misconduct while working in the entertainment industry. Our trauma-informed staff takes calls from across the country, and referral services currently serve California, New York, and Georgia. And they give a link for more information. They also provide a phone number, 855-943-5463. Their hours are 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific time on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, and 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Pacific time on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And there's the website link also. ACLU, Know Your Rights, they provide a website link. Equal Employment Opportunity Commission Helpline. They provide a phone number, 1-800-669-4000. That's 4000, as well as a website link. RAINN, RAINN, yep. They provide a phone number, 656-4673. Just trying to make sure I'm getting the numbers right. And Time's Up. Additional resources or SA, harassment, and inequality, they provide a website. Again, currently, as you can see on the left side here, it's in their list under industry resources for the IMDbPro members who are paid members. So now I'd like to show you each of those 8 hits for the IMDbPro members, IMDbPro members, I should say, and what's on those pages when you click those links. The organizations that support DEI in the entertainment industry. The only place I found the term harassment and equality resources is in the list under industry resources on the left. Now, I did not click through all these links because, again, I'm on the IMDb website. So I would suspect that it would be called out there, as the previous slide shared with you what's posted. But they do provide IMDbPro members other links that they could go to. The only reference why it came up in the search that I believe, in my opinion, is that it says harassment and inequality resources under the industry resources. I don't see it anywhere in the verbiage that's typed in the webpage. On the second hit, it was California Wildfire, or one of the other hits of the 8 were California Wildfire Resources. Once again, I looked through all of these links, and the only occurrence is harassment and inequality resources, which I shared with you already what's on the page as far as phone numbers, websites, and groups. Again, this should be made available, accessible by all IMDb members, whether you're a free member or if you're a paid subscriber or member. Because even if you're an IMDb member, you may be someone may reach out to you for a role. So now you are in the entertainment industry. Having this accessible resources would be promoting IMDb to be a site to sign up for, okay? That's a rather important thing, whether that should be counted or not. But the right thing to do is provide that webpage, harassment, and inequality resources to all members. Because like I said, anybody that is on the site, whether you're a free member or you're a paid subscriber or paid member, you could be contacted for a role in a movie, TV show, something else, okay? So that's what they should have accessible to everybody. I just wish they would see it as such. And I'm not picking on Ms. Santoro. I just wasn't sure if she was even aware that it doesn't appear for both groupings, we'll say. So This was California Welfare Resources. The only occurrence is on the left side in each of those links, harassment and inequality resources. Going forward, another of the third of the 8, explore key resources for industry professionals. It explains things about links in here about list of resources to assist entertainment industry professionals during the unprecedented times, this unprecedented times. Once again, it does have a disclaimer, has a couple of links for useful resources, which is great, but the only occurrence of harassment and inequality resources is on the left-hand side, which takes you to my original slide earlier, or the slide earlier that gives you names, websites, groups, and phone numbers that you can contact. One of them even to give you their hours of operation. So again, all members should be made aware of this and have this accessible to them. I would not want to see Ms. Santoro or IMDb sued because that information was not made available and could be misconstrued as them being responsible for something. I do not want that to happen. I think IMDb has been a wonderful site. Cole Whittleman created it back in 1990, so it's been around a long time. You can go to the website, just IMDbPro, IMDb.com, and for yourself without subscribing or paying, and see the availability of movies, descriptions. You can look up artists, you can look up actors or actresses, you can get some details about them. It's a wonderful site, don't get me wrong. For IMDbPro members, you can have additional access to like updating your resume online, adding photos, additional things along those lines to make you more accessible to, let's say, a producer, a director, someone who's looking for a specific look or your history, your experience, and they may reach out to you if you provide the information along those lines as far as contacting you. So again, I enjoy the site. It provides a lot of great information in the entertainment industry. My only concern is that Ms. Santoro may not be aware that this resource page on harassment and inequality resources is not accessible to all IMDb members / IMDbPro. On this page, which is a 2-pager because of the amount of FAQs, I don't even see it anywhere there on the left-hand side. So why would this come up as a search option? I don't understand, right? But that's what occurred. It was one of the 8 that popped up. And then this one prompts you after you go through the links listed on the page. When you scroll down, you get this part of it. And then if you want to become a member, it gives you an option to check or to be able to become a member. So I don't want to say it's about the money. I just don't believe that as CEO, she may be aware of the intricacies of the websites and all the web pages. It's a simple issue, right? Now that if she watches this stream, she and others may reach out to IMDb and just request that they get access to the harassment and inequality resources webpage. And I think that's only fair because I would hate to have anybody go through anything along those lines. We should have active cases in the court system around the country trying to deal with this issue, as well as the previous months and years that things have been coming out. Again, Me Too movement, right? It could have happened to anybody throughout their career. It could happen to someone today or tomorrow. Do you see what I'm saying? So if these resources were made available to everyone in IMDb, it would promote IMDb's support of helping victims by providing harassment and inequality resources to all members. It's almost a CYA, but I look at it as more of a promotion of the IMDb world. It needs to be promoted. It provides great information for anybody who's interested in entertainment and in the entertainment industry and in what's going on, updates, coming up and coming films, TV series, things along those lines. So it's well worth the site being up, which I really enjoy, but I just think that she may not be aware of the importance and the fact that this harassment and inequality web resources webpage is not available to all resources. The next link here is IMDbPro membership options. If you are a current IMDb member, the below additional resources are available to you, okay? The only place on this little short page is in the left column, harassment and inequality resources, okay? These are all the IMDb member search results to the search criteria on those words. The next one is what is IMDbPro? Okay. And when I look on the left-hand side, I don't see harassment and inequality in resources listed under your account, right? So why did it come up in the search? That is a question to ask, right? And you can mark yes, no. You can click on, did this answer your question? Green, yellow, red. But it should either pop up appropriately when you do a search on the exact words you want, or it shouldn't show up in the search fields, search list, correct? That's my thinking. Finally, financial assistance. Gives you plenty of links in the United States, Canada, United Kingdom. Look at the left-hand side. Nowhere does it say harassment and inequality resources. I want people to be aware of that you can't just easily search. And it states in the italicized sentence at the bottom, this list is provided as a courtesy, and IMDbPro makes no claims as to the quality of service or the products that companies provide. So they won't take ownership of that. They won't take ownership of providing harassment and inequality resources on their own website to not only the paid subscribers in IMDbPro, but also the free members in IMDb. Ms. Santoro, I really think you need to look into this. And I hope people reach out to IMDbPro or IMDb and just request, can we have access to the harassment and inequality resources? Because I'm in the entertainment industry, I'm interested in getting into the entertainment industry, or for any other reason. You can also say, I'm looking to join as an IMDbPro member, but I believe that this information on harassment and inequality in a resource, I want to know more about it, so it should be available to me when I search on that. And if you don't know what to search on because it's not visible on the IMDb side, you wouldn't even know it's there. And those are resources that are so important, like I said, into today's climate in the entertainment industry. Now here, we're going to focus on the two results that occurred on harassment and inequality resources that I used to search on. And one came up as, how do I share my review? The other one was IMDb community guidelines. Okay, first one didn't really feel like it was a good hit. The second one, community guidelines. Okay, it could be in there, right? It makes sense in that world. And I listed them twice just to break them out for you. How do I share my review? You can now easily share reviews from multiple locations on IMDb using the share menu. Here's how. And it gives you to share any review. It gives you this like print screens and some step-by-step instructions. Again, looking on the left-hand side, nowhere does it reference harassment and inequality resources, why did it come up in the search? I just find that odd. You're talking about sharing a review as a result to searching on harassment and inequality resources. That's needs a code change in my world. You need to change some code there. This is the second half of that page, just further down because it doesn't all fit in the slide visibly. But it does not reference anything for harassment and inequality resources. I really believe that needs to be updated or code change to allow that page to be searchable and available to all members of IMDb. Again, I'm not knocking IMDb. I think it's a wonderful site. I think it's been great over the years. It's provided me a lot of good information and answered a lot of my questions that I had in my head while watching a movie or talking with friends. So the next one is the IMDb community guidelines. Basically, this is talking about similar to YouTube's guidelines. No posting negative words, disparaging, no non-English language in your profile bio. Respect everyone's privacy. Those are just to name a few. Perfectly acceptable, totally understandable. But when you look at the left-hand side, again, I see nowhere does it reference harassment and inequality resources. So why did it come up in the search? Except that these two were a default, because there is no harassment and inequality resources hits in the IMDb side of the house. And I really want Ms. Santoro to take this under consideration at their next meeting, or reach out herself or get to her higher level staff to reach to the coders or whoever's in charge of the web page to be able to make that page and the decision to make that page available to all IMDb members. I don't want anything to turn out wrong or bad for IMDb. I really don't. I don't want Ms. Santoro to be have any negative impact because of my stream or anybody taking it the wrong way. But once I saw that, I felt compelled to do a stream on it, because I think anyone who's uses IMDb should have those resources webpage available, so that if they get into a situation, or they're not sure if they're getting into a situation, or they're down the road on a situation, right? Whether it be harassment or inequality, they should know who they can contact. And IMDb has been a wonderful site and resource for many people in the entertainment industry. So I really am looking at the current CEO, Nikki Santoro. I want her to address this issue. Harassment and inequality resources posted on the IMDbPro.com site should also be accessible on the IMDb.com site. All members should receive the same awareness of the available resources. I really strongly believe that. That's why I took the time to put this together. And again, I'm not picking on anybody. I don't think this current CEO, Nikki Santoro, or even the founder, Cole Whitteman, had any bad intentions. But in today's climate, in today's entertainment industry, you can see how having that webpage accessible to all IMDb members who may potentially get a gig, we'll say, could benefit from having that. If they have questions, if something on set happens, if they get hired by any company, group, or even an independent, they need to know what their rights are and who they can safely contact. So if IMDbPro has it on their website, I would trust those are the resources I can use and reach out to. I want IMDb members, so everybody would feel the same way as I do, that if I get a gig and I take it, and I'm sitting in the middle of some other state, in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the ocean, something's going on, or something that just doesn't work right for me, or if I see it happen, right? Just like here in Maricopa County, if you see it, don't post it, report it, right? So you want to be able to have a source that you're very comfortable and confident in, to be able to find a page like that provides you with resources, websites, phone numbers, times of operation. It's a great addition to promoting IMDb to all members, and then some, because they're going to be members that are already affiliated, whether free or paid, and letting other people know about it, right? So this is supposed to be a positive stream to give them the opportunity. Since it's been since January that I've seen, I don't know when it got updated last, but in September, where she's been in charge since January as CEO, right? That she's had all this time, which it may or may not have been all this time, but now I'm putting it, quote unquote, on the record, right? And I want to make sure that if there's anything that can be done, that she puts the verbiage out internally, let them know, make this page available to all IMDb members, and make that part of the next, let's say, update that they may have, or do a special update. Really use this to your advantage, because you're going to save people from going through possibly traumatic, long-term pain and suffering that could have been prevented by having access to resources to deal with harassment in this entertainment industry, as well as inequality that occurs. Okay. So I want to thank you very much. I appreciate you, Ms. Santoro or Mrs. Santoro. I don't know. But I really hope you take this to heart and either someone on your staff watches this or you watch it yourself. I'm highly recommending that you make that web page, specific web page, available to all IMDb members. And if I am incorrect, I couldn't find it through my research, available to all. But if I am incorrect and it is available up until a half hour ago, it hasn't been that I know of. But if it becomes available, if someone corrects me, please let me know and I will apologize wholeheartedly. But all I'm trying to do is ask politely to have these resources made available, that resource web page, I should say, available to all IMDb members. And you can spin it to a positive so easily. And I think that that's the best thing you can do. Because again, the reverse of that could be a court case, right? We don't want that to happen. We don't think it should happen. At least I don't. I wish you all the very best. Please know that the information is available in the stream. I think that I think it was appropriate that I shared it, and I don't want to get in trouble or anything, but it's just the right thing to do for all members to be available, to understand what's available from a resource perspective as far as sexual harassment, I should say, and inequality resources. Okay? Any questions from the audience? Nope, nothing there. Okay, well, with that said, I do want to thank you so much for watching. And if it gets passed around the stream, I'd appreciate it because I want people to be aware. And it's worth your time to reach out to the customer support or help section on IMDb.com or IMDbPro.com. They're probably one of the same sites. It's just that webpage is not accessible that I could find to IMDb, especially when I do my searches and you get 8 occurrences or 8 hits from my verbiage that I searched on, and only 2 for IMDb, and neither of them even reference harassment and inequality at resource webpage, a link to it. So I don't think I'm off kilter here. So I really do hope that someone takes this to heart, does something about it, because I'll be monitoring. Because now officially on September 27th, 2025, there's something on air and available to mark the date. And I'll be monitoring to see if it changes, it gets updated, or if we see some sort of notification letting us know that this is now available. I don't need credit. I don't want credit. I just want Ms. Santoro as a CEO to do the right thing, because she may not realize that this is what's going on in her own house. So with your help, everybody's help, I think it's worth our time to spend a minute or two to send a message and just promote the fact that web resources should be made available to all IMDb members, because anyone could be affected in the entertainment industry. As you and I have both watched, seen, heard, and it continues. So let's do what we can to support IMDb and assist them in doing the right thing and making those resources available to all IMDb members. So with that, I thank you very, very much for listening and watching. And I hope that this gives you some good information. Go to the site anyway, and you'll see what kind of cool information is available to us, which is a busy, busy site, trust me. But I think it's well worth your time to do that, because it's going to be very important as life goes forward. I really don't want IMDb to be added to a lawsuit because they did not provide certain information to help people just because they were not paid members. So thank you so much for watching. Hope you have a wonderful Saturday. Take care. Bye now.